The Aleppo Township Workshop Meeting of January 11th, 2021 to order at 7 p.m. Roll call, please.
President Jones,
Present.
Vice President Williams,
Present.
Commissioner Dara,
Present.
Commissioner Richard,
Present.
Commissioner Haluka,
Present.
Solicitor Stone.
Here.
And Mr. Solicitor, would you review the format and the justification?
Right. Well, we're still in this situation where we are operating under guidelines passed by the state legislature to deal with COVID-19 and the emergency orders of the governor, which means that we are permitted to conduct our public hearings remotely, either partially or entirely, until the emergency order is lifted. And so, as in the past few months, we are continuing in that process. The meetings are advertised, the agendas are published, the public is able to participate by communication or through communication with the manager, either prior to or during the meeting, and our minutes are ultimately published on our website. So those are the general parameters of Act 52, and we continue to operate under those.
Thank you. And Gwen, would you briefly explain how residents could participate live?
Yeah. They can participate live. I'm sitting here with my other computer open, so if anybody is watching this live and has a question that they want to be relayed during the meeting, they can email me right now, and I have this open, and I will check it periodically through the meeting, and then at the end before we adjourn. So anybody can contact, and then after the fact, anybody can email me, call me, to let me know, just to give me feedback that way also.
Thank you.
Did I say Act 52? I think it's Act 15. I apologize.
Thank you. Do I hear a motion to approve the December 21st legislative meeting minutes?
So moved.
Second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Gwen, would you address the ASO Joint Comprehensive Plan Adoption Resolution?
Yes, this is the comprehensive plan that we share with Sewickley and Glen Osborne Borough. It was originally done back in about 2008, and it was timed about every 10 years you revise this and revisit it. And so over the last 2 years, basically, this plan has been revised and updated. It's now an online plan, so it's more accessible to anyone who wants to look at it. The public hearing was held, and so what you have in your packet for adoption next week is the resolution adopting the updated comprehensive plan. Once that is adopted, then it'll be time to turn to our zoning ordinance and rewriting our zoning ordinance to reflect any changes in the comprehensive plan and anything that we have learned in the last 10 years. The zoning world changes. So you have the resolution, and it'll be on the agenda for adoption next week.
Thank you. The zoning ordinance revision proposal from HRG Engineering, Gwen?
That's also in your packet. You also got it last July. It's the same one that we talked about earlier in the summer or the last summer, and that is you would be accepting this proposal and authorizing HRG to be our consultant for our zoning ordinance rewrite. It would be led by Laura Ludwig at HRG, who was the consultant for the parking ordinance overlay, and she is a zoning expert. So she will be our lead consultant on that. What will happen with that is the Planning Commission will have a bunch of meetings. So they're going to meet monthly now for a while to start working on the changes, and then Laura will incorporate them and then be bringing them back, and we'll have periodic committee meetings to see, to give people updates. And I expect that process to take probably a year.
I think I'm back. Am I back?
You're back.
Thank you.
Next week.
That'll be on the agenda for next week, yes, to approve.
And Gwen, this is not only a review and engineering review of the ASO current plan, but also of our ordinances in general.
Right. The ASO plan's over. Then this will now be the zoning ordinance. This is for our zoning.
Any other questions? New business. We were all very sad to learn that we lost a member of the community who has done incredible work for the community. Len Kintner is a real asset that we'll miss much. So there is a vacancy on the Township Authority Board. So anyone listening or anyone here that has any thoughts, please let Gwen know. Anybody else have something to say?
I mean, we'll all miss Len. I will say that. I got to know him, and he would come in here a lot. He and his many dogs. We've gotten to know his dogs over the years, and Len was a good guy. And we're going to miss him personally. Yeah, he was an asset to the board, but we in the office here will miss him personally as well.
I agree. The trash recycling contract, which is being negotiated by the COG with input from all the communities, the negotiations are starting up and will be on a pretty tight schedule. So if any commissioners or anyone listening or anyone that listens to this later knows of any new services or programs around the country or even local that they would like to see us review, we're not so much interested in the top of your trash can not being put back on every day. We think Waste Management does a pretty good job, and when they do make a mistake, they react quickly. So it's more significant general service changes that you might like to see. And if you do, you can certainly communicate those to Gwen.
Certainly one thing we should try to see if we can find something to do about is glass recycling.
That will be in the COG report, Dan. We have been asked to host at least one dumpster day for glass. So that'll be part of the negotiation.
Okay.
Anything else about the trash recycling contract?
Just this input. I have been sort of interfacing with the group of people up. It's a Masonic Village who are very involved in the recycling program up here. And they're struggling with the same thing that we're struggling with, is what to do with glass. So at least we'll get another set of opinions from them. But in the meantime, I'm just keeping any documentation that comes through for me from the COG. I give them a copy, and they appreciate that. So now you're all informed as much as I am.
Thank you, Art. Dan, would you like to address the ATA budget procedures?
We use Dave Kirchner to really prepare our budget. There's two budgets, one for the sewer authority, the sewer operation, and one for the water operation. We've adopted a water operation budget for 2021 with no increase in rates. The draft budget that Dave came up with for the sewer operation indicated a likely need for a rate increase. But we had been having a discussion, George and I at least, and Gwen have been having some discussion about the use of the funds that we will not be sending to the bondholders based upon our refinance savings, and how those might be, or some of those might be applied to the sewer operation. So we're working on that, but haven't come to a final resolution. The other thing that we were waiting on to try to finalize our sewer budget is a determination as to what the debt service amount is going to be for the Glen Osborne Interconnect debt service.
Thank you, Dan. So the intent is we'll meet next week sometime. We'll come back to the board with a detailed proposal. And if anyone has any questions in the interim, please let me know and we can discuss it.
Okay.
Is there any other new business? Gwen, any citizens participating?
No, I don't have anything.
One last time, any new business? If none, and with no need for an executive session, we adjourn the meeting.
Hey, nice to see you people.